Good day, folks. Welcome to this online battle, a 1v1. I'm playing as Bordeleaux, and my opponent here, Zoestos, is playing as the Greenskins. We're on the Cliff of Beasts map, I think it was. It's a very flat map, so it's all going to be very tactical in terms of movement. Let's check out my army. I've got 3 units of Battle Pilgrims as my front line. Only 3 against the Greenskins. That is a questionable move because they normally have a lot of numbers, but obviously I'm focusing on cavalry because they are my strength. At the edges of my line I've got spearmen at arms with shields. Brought the shields so they have that extra melee defense. And for my ranged options I've got peasant bowmen, of course, 1 lot of fire arrows, 2 units of normal and 1 unit of pox out front. I've got them out front to try and slow them down on their approach. My army is led by a sort of interim general in the paladin. Got in there to keep the leadership up a little bit. My main general is off elsewhere, as you will shortly see. I've also got 2 units of foot squires for all my armor piercing needs. Obviously the intention would be Black Orcs against the Greenskins. 2 units of those. They are my armor piercing death dealers of death and stuff. So that's the main force of my army. And on my right flank, Alberic de Bordeleaux rides with his questing knights. A great strong armor piercing melee cavalry. I've got 2 units of those. Alberic de Bordeleaux mixed in gives that anti-large bonus, so it's going to help them a little bit should they engage with other cavalries. On the left side, I've got Knights of the Realm, who are an anti-large shock cavalry, of course. And then just only a simple unit of mounted yeomen. These were typically brought to get after the archers and stuff. So that is pretty much my entire force. Now my opponent, in all his green glory, has gone for a very anti-large heavy army. The only infantry he's brought along is Orc Biggins, who are of course the anti-large unit for the Greenskins. He's also got a Goblin Big Boss, and his general is Skarsnik back here with Kobla. So got to watch out for them because they can be pretty dangerous against infantry. And then he's also got 2 giants. Yes, 2 giants in all their sexy glory. Let's have a look at him. Look at that face. Beautiful. So 2 giants, got to watch out for those, of course. That's the main bulk of his army in the center. His flanks on both sides is 2 units of Orc Boar Boy Biggins. These are, of course, the anti-large ones. So this guy knows that my strength is cavalry, and he's going to do everything he can to try and take away that advantage by bringing all these anti-large units. So it's going to be a tough build for any Bretonnian army faction such as Bordeleaux. So my advantage of normally being able to easily destroy all his infantry with my cavalry has been somewhat taken away. So on these flanks, he's bringing in his boar boys on both sides. I'm not going to go and approach him. I could do. It's a difficult one to call whether I would win because my units are melee cavalries but his units are anti-large. I've only got the Knights of the Realm. They're my only anti-large. So I'm going to pull my cavalries back and play it a little bit safe and defensive because I'm in no hurry to get my cavalries killed because obviously they're pretty essential to my plan. Skirmishers are popping off on the closest target, which is the Goblin Big Boss. They'll do a little bit of damage to him and his tiny legs. Going to start aiming at these pork boy biggins. Yep, pork boy biggins. They love their bacon. Going to focus fire a little bit, try and do as much damage to individual units as I can. Get them whittled down so that my Battle Pilgrims can have somewhat of a chance. They're approaching fast though. On the flanks he's moving up his cavalry still. I'm just moving back a bit, playing it safe. Getting a nice bit of damage on these biggins. So he does approach. I think my pox arrows are meant to be on skirmish, but I don't think they did actually skirmish and they just got messed up. But I'm trying to sneak my bowman here over because his cavalry is slowly approaching. I try to sneak my bowman over so that he doesn't realise. And I can pop a few arrows off because they're going to take quite a bit of damage from missile fire because they don't have a lot of armor to Orc Boar Boy Biggins. Nothing going on the right. I'm popping off a few volleys, doing a nice bit of damage. So here I had a little plan. I see these Biggins coming in. I wasn't really too worried about them. Trying to move my spearmen over a bit, but I'm leaving my yeomen out there as bait pretty much so that he'll charge in after my yeomen. And because the yeomen are pretty quick, they can get out of the way pretty quick. So I'm going to move them. I maybe should have done it a little bit earlier. But you can see both his units have been told to attack my yeomen, meaning they're going to follow them, which allows me an opportunity to charge my shock cavalry into the side and back of their 2 units, avoiding their charge at the same time. The yeomen have taken a little bit of damage, but nothing too bad, so we're doing okay on the left side so far. On the right flank, I'm trying to surround his cavalry. I've had 1 unit of Quest Knights and Alberic charge into these 2 units, and then I flanked the other one round for a nice rear charge here, and I've got these 2 completely surrounded. And you'll see they're going to waver pretty quick. I've taken some damage because they are an anti-large cavalry and we had to take their charges, but one of the units should be in pretty good condition still. Those 2 are wavering. In the middle, it's pretty much just an infantry fight. These giants are a problem. I'm starting to focus fire on them with missiles. Battle Pilgrims are struggling against the Biggins. They are just a better unit, the Orc Boy Biggins, even though they are more of an anti-large unit. bringing in the questing knights to help out the infantry now. This is what it's all about. Don't want to leave them there too long though, because those anti-large bonuses will stack up for the big uns. Back on the left flank, my Knights of the Realm are doing okay against 2 units of big uns, to be fair. My mounted German are about to come back in, get a charge in the rear, and again, surround them. It's more about the morale penalty that they're going to take in these surrounding manoeuvres. Again, nice little charge. Starting to waver my knights a bit though. Most of the front line for me has crumbled, the centre and the left hand side, which has left my skirmishers very exposed. You see I've got 3 units here. I've spread them out so that they're not easily attacked, but he hasn't actually gone after any of them, which is a bit strange considering they're hammering away at his giants, and they're the only real thing I have that can take down the giants, because my spear units are pretty beaten up. Speaking of beaten up, my paladin is taking a hammering from many a unit. He's just routed. Alberic's still knocking around though. I've sent him after Skarsnik, trying to get him down. So I get a nice charge on him. Come on, my son. Oh, not bad, not bad. So I'm trying to keep all my cavalries away from their big uns as much as possible. I charge them into the big uns and then I take them away. I'm kind of using them more of as a shock cavalry, even though they are a melee cavalry. But those big uns will take them down if I leave them there. Bit of a weird situation on the left. Everyone's routing. Foot squires still doing what they can. Skirmishers still hammering away at the giants. These are my biggest worry now, is the giants. Alberic's taking a bit of damage. Boar boys have come back. Alberic's on it though with his anti-large bonus. Have my archers covering the right hand side, waiting for the inevitable return of those boar boys. So it's pretty much come down to, can the cavalry that I have left take out the infantry that they have left? I do have some foot squires though, who I think would be able to beat big uns, because they do have a fair amount of armour, and big uns aren't armour piercing. A lot of my units are running away now though. Alberic's throwing down with the big boss. We won on the left side, just about. We managed to rout their cavalries, the yeomen are just chasing them off. Another one there. So we managed to win that, very close, very lucky to win that one, to be honest, because I would have thought I would lose that side, because Knights of the Realm and Yeomen really shouldn't be any match for 2 units of Pork Boy big uns. Yep, those guys. Now it's looking a little bleak for me here. I'm getting a bit overrun. I don't have a lot left, just the cavalries, one's just routed, so there's a big clump of units charging around. I am still firing at the giant with my missiles though, and it's coming from multiple directions, so a lot of the arrows are probably hitting some of those units that stood around it, which is really handy. Alberic's coming back. I got him a little bit stuck for a while, so I had to pull him far away to keep him safe. But you can see he's not made any attempt to get any of my skirmishers still, and this little clump here is a beautiful little firing pit for all these skirmishers. I'm just going to hammer them. I'm going to do so much damage in a short space of time when they're like this. It becomes very easy to take things down. And I deliberately have my skirmishers spread out so they can kind of cover each other. When one unit skirmishes away like this one is, although it's skirmishing in the wrong direction, the other 2 units can kind of cover it. So it's a good little cover tactic in that sense. Foot squires left. One of my few infantry still standing. They're throwing down with the big uns. Still, he's not really going after my bowmen. These 2 have routed. Skarsnik, the only one left standing. They've been routed by bowmen. Peasant bowmen, no less. That's embarrassing. Paladin and the big boss throwing down now. Battle of the heroes. Oh! Come on, Paladin, he's made you look like a bitch. Get up. Take him down. No. No, run away. Fuck that for a laugh, says the Paladin. He's off skis. Cool. I think I told him to go and attack Skarsnik. I think that's why. He wasn't routing or anything. Alberic coming in for another charge. Ooh. Skarsnik, the last green thing left standing. I'm cycle charging Alberic into him, because Alberic doesn't have a ton of health. And this pretty much spells the end for the greenskins in this one. So I have managed to prevail. It's a close one though. It wasn't a decisive victory by any means. Probably wasn't even a close victory. It's probably Pyrrhic. It was Pyrrhic. Of course it was. Let's see how my individual units fared. None of them really standing out that well, apart from some of the cavalry. The infantry didn't get a lot of kills. To be fair, they didn't have a lot to kill. There was only really the 5 units of big uns. The cavalry was dealt with by my cavalry. Foot squires did okay. Missiles did alright. Cavalry's, of course, excelling. 1 questing knights, that's probably the one that had the most health after the first engagement. His big uns got tons of kills. See, I deployed about 400 more troops than him, so he had more people to kill. But a good game nonetheless. And really, my opponent had the ingredients to beat me there. He brought all the anti-large, which is a wise thing to do against a cavalry-heavy faction like Bretonnia. But he didn't really use it all that well. Those Orc Boar Boy big uns are a pretty strong unit, and they're anti-large. I think he had the slight cav advantage, but he didn't really do anything with it. He just charged his cav in and then left it there. Didn't try to micro it at all, didn't split them up. Just ended up getting them surrounded, and they were gone within the first few minutes of the fight. His biggest mistake though was making no attempt to get after my skirmishers. They took down those giants, no problem. He must have seen me hammering away at his giants, but for some reason didn't try to stop me. He broke my front line quite early and could have easily charged a bunch of his units through the centre, taken down my missile units, and then I would have had nothing to really get rid of those giants. With a few spearmen, but against big guns and stuff as well, they wouldn't really have survived. And I think that would have been pretty easy, comfortable win for him if he'd done that, but for some reason, he just ignored them. I could have probably used my cavalry a bit better. I think they got far too wounded far too early, and I definitely needed them to try and help the battle pilgrims out because they could do nothing against an onslaught of big guns and giants. So I was a little bit late to the party trying to save the battle pilgrims, but other than that, I think I did alright, especially taking down those giants. That was really the key with the skirmishers. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the future, innit? Wicked.